That's called a Guibo, if you guys didn't know.
Flex pack.
No, Guibo. Guibo.
Everything here is basically going to be what we're going to be slapping on. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So this week we got some goodies for the G8. It's been a long time coming for the car. Like I said in previous videos on the truck exhaust, the G8's got 140,000 miles on the rear. So everything here is basically going to be what we're going to be slapping on to make the rear end stiff again, better than original, and going to be able to handle to the use and abuse of the G8. So. Alright guys, so a little parts layout here. So we got some BMR front and rear sway bars. We have the BMR tunnel brace. We've got the, oh, sticker time, forgot, okay.
Alright, so what do we got going on here, Austin?
Alright, so now that the air compressor has a sticker.
Hell yeah.
Going through the parts again. These are the Mevotech rear upper control arms. The reason why I'm replacing these is because this ball joint is non-serviceable on the current ones. I got these for like 15 bucks on wholesale on Rock Auto. There is a popular Chevy SS conversion that you can do. For price sake, I just went and got these. I took off the original upper bushing for it, which will be replaced by these ones. These are the BMR Delrin bushings, so it's going to be a lot more rigid. It will transfer more noise and more vibration, but that's all right because race car, right? So next we got the iBox springs. These are a 1-inch drop all around, so it keeps that nice rate that the G8 has from the factory. Next, here we have the BMR outer trailing arm bushing, which these are the trailing arms. So it'll be right here on the actual knuckle that you have to press out on the car. These ones are going to be the lower control arm bushing, which will be these ones right here, which you have to press out again. These are the BMR lower control arms. Very nice product. The sway bar connecting links will be bolting right here. Those are the white line, just regular OE replacement. Tow rod stated as before. These are the Monroe Chevy Caprice rear shocks. The reason why I went with these is because the overall construction is a little bit more beefy than the OE G8 replacement. Cheaper than the GXP shocks. They're still made in Australia. It's basically an AC Delco OEM part. It's just with a different label on it. I believe Monroe makes the OE stuff.
But these are non-adjustable, correct?
Correct. These are non-adjustable, just OE replacement, but for the sake of running a bigger rated spring, yeah, these will be good because they're meant to support more weight with the Caprice and withstand more duty. So
for a fatter booty.
Exactly. Next, these are going to be the rear subframe cradle bushing replacements. So a very popular part for the G8 and the Camaro is it's Petters or BMR insert that you actually put in place of the rubber gaps.
Yeah, we did that on his last G8.
Yeah,
so.
We did it on the first G8, and it was a huge improvement. So I got these for about the same price. So I'm actually really excited to see how these are going to do because these are a whole lot more beefy than what's on the car now.
Well, these are completely solid. The other one's like little inserts, and when we go ahead and tear the cradle out, we'll go ahead and show you guys that.
We'll show it on the removal. So
what's that? What's this one right there? What is that?
This is the BMR. What is it? It's the drive shaft exhaust area brace.
Oh, there's a brace back there.
It actually came on the car. I had to take it off because after I put the Borla kit on, the exhaust kind of settled and it caused the exhaust to kind of droop, and it was rubbing on the underside a little bit.
Okay.
So I just took it off just for the time being. So next, these are for the Camaro limited slip. These are the replacement bushings. So the forwardmost two.
Got one there and then two up front.
Exactly. The two in the front are going to be the poly.
And these are the softer ones actually, right?
Yes.
And then this is the harder
one, which actually gets the most.
Like plastic.
Yeah. It gets the most transfer is going to be Delrin, so it's not going to move at all, which will be good.
Dude, this thing's going to vibrate the teeth out of your face.
Probably.
And then we got some nice big beefy sway bars, also adjustable. So we got firm, medium, and soft This can be firm no matter what, but we have 3 levels of adjustment. So I would definitely recommend doing the softest adjustment first.
For the time being, yeah, and then we can fine tune as needed. But
Yeah,
since it'll just be a car just to go play around and take down to the track, we'll see.
Yeah, so a lot of parts, a lot of moving parts, and yeah, it's gonna be quite the adventure taking this subframe out. So if you guys have questions about where we got all these parts or want to know the part numbers, go ahead and hit us up down in the below in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
So all these parts were brought to me by G8 only. They weren't given, I paid for them. But shipping was good, customer service was excellent, so I'm definitely going to be going there from now on for all my G8 needs, because the car, you know, as much of a unicorn as it is, it's very hard to get parts. So they do a great job at stocking all parts and then getting them out to you in a prompt manner. So
yeah, because didn't they forget they forgot the lower control arms, right?
No, so there was an issue with getting them out from the factory. So,
oh yeah, they were just like kind of back ordered, but they actually overnighted them to us the next day, which was pretty sweet. So we didn't even have to wait for those. We thought that was going to be an issue, but we have everything to complete the job now. So you may be wondering why we're replacing the diff. Now this is a 327 gear diff, and what's the stock ratio you got in the car right now?
So on the G8, it's a 292 limited slip. The reason why we're going with this is it's just a higher gear. We'll be able to, you know, off the line quicker. There is a 345 option. However, that's a little bit more expensive, probably twice the price. I got that one for about $400. It came out of a V6 Camaro that was manual with about 90,000 miles. So on both aspects, with the mileage and the actual gearing, it's an upgrade in both ways for the G8. So I think with all the parts, the cam, the stall, everything, I think that the 327 will be a very good add-on for the G8.
Yeah, so we should have a little bit better drivability with that actually. So because around 50 miles an hour in 6th gear, this thing just lugs and surges. So that's probably due to the stall and the cam itself. But higher gear ratio means you can apply the torque faster, so hopefully we can get some better 60-foot times. Unfortunately, we have not taken this thing to the track. We just haven't had time. We're trying to get things done here in order until the Camaro gets back. But for this time, we're going to go ahead and just do a complete overhaul. Car's up in the air. All 4 wheels and tires are off, sitting over there. Saved you the boredom of taking the exhaust off. We got these shock towers undone currently, calipers are off, and Austin is working on the e-brake cable. We just disconnected the drive shaft up there at the little guibo. That's called a guibo if you guys didn't know.
Flex pack.
No, guibo. Guibo.
No.
Sounds cool. Say it, it's fun. Yeah. Stupid. So I went ahead and broke the torque on these subframe bolts. On his last G8, they were like seized up, and we thought we were gonna break the bolts. So I wanted to make sure that was going to be good before we continued. It's almost like it was meant to be. Look at that. Look how freaking, I don't know, someone engineered that one correctly. That's good.
Australia.
Garbage. Garbage.
This is the problem that I was having, that I basically suspected this was causing the entire control arm right here
To kind of sway back
to
and forth.
toe in and toe out as it's under load.
So these are the bushings we were telling you guys about. We had inserts on the last G8. They would literally just fill the gaps of the other holes, and they were poly. They were pretty nice, but they're still just a real pain in the ass to get on. So diff is coming out. So what we'll do is go ahead and strip everything off, clean it up. We have a little weld repair we'll go ahead and show you guys. But yeah, time to tear it apart.
All right, guys, so we got the rear end out. Here she is. I'm gonna go ahead and pressure wash it down real quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of all the parts that we're going to be changing out. Here's a closer look at the bushing for the upper control arm bushing. You can see how it's separated here and here, and then on this side, even here and here as it just rotated. So kind of crazy that happens, but I'm glad that it's out now. We're fixing it, and we're getting replacing a lot of this stuff. So yeah, so let's get to it. Alright guys, so it's day 2, and today we're going to be starting with the rear shocks. Here's the old setup. We're going to be reusing there's a bump stop in here, we got the cover, the plate, and some of the washers. And there you have it, the shocks are done. One thing that I didn't mention before that's a pretty good tip to know is remembering the orientation of the perch for the spring whenever you do these. So this is the factory lineup line, so you can see how the spring is basically lined up right there. And then if you follow it down, you want to make sure that your eyelets, this is where it bolts into the lower control arm, is where it's going to be able to go through. So just something to keep in mind when doing so. Same thing on this one. Go all the way down. Look at that, boom. So next, since these are done, we're going to go ahead and start moving on to the subframe mounts. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and pull out the subframe. Those and those. All right, so the cradle bushing press is set up. As you can see, pretty simple setup. We're just going to be using this 2-jaw puller, a 1-inch socket to apply some downward force. I'm going to be using the torch to heat up this portion right here because it's all plastic in there. So as that starts to melt, after I zip this down just a little bit, it's going to cause the entire bushing set to fall out. First one is out. Should have used the torch a wee bit longer. I actually just ended up using the pry bar to get the rest of this out because the actual rubber insert just kind of came out by itself, but hey, that's all right. Look how crappy that is. That's ridiculous. So yep, on to the next 3. All right guys, so we had a little issue with the mounts. So these are the ones that I bought from Prothane. Here's the OE hole. They don't fit. Come to find out, I guess the Camaro subframe on the rear mounts, it has a bigger hole because the fronts fit. It's just the rears. So I went ahead, I just ordered some new ones that are guaranteed to fit. I guess I should have checked that before, but oh well, you live and you learn. So they'll be here next week sometime. So, and we're back. Diff wasn't cooperating earlier. Went ahead and took a break, ran some errands. Went ahead, did these. These are the hubs. Went ahead and put in the inserts on the knuckle for the trailing arm as well as the lower control arm. I just got these loosely installed for now. Once they're on the car, go ahead and torque everything up. But simple task, just went ahead and did that. Here's the diff. These metal lugs all inside are all corroded. As you can see, chisel and hammer was not effective towards GM sleeves, so gonna have to rework this. I got a pneumatic air hammer, so we'll see if that's effective. But we'll probably tackle that tomorrow when Douglas is off. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and take out the front suspension and throw the eye box on the pedders. All right guys, day number 3. We went ahead, took a break last night. I finished up with the front suspension and put the eye box on the pedder struts. Didn't film that, just wanted to knock it out. Douglas is off today, so we started bright and early on the diff. So what we ended up having to do was get an air hammer from the parts store and basically chisel these mounts out. We don't have one here, but yeah, they were pretty corroded in there. So, but the air hammer did help. So a little bit of heat and some impact, it was good. So went ahead, put some new GM seals here. The diff does have 90,000 miles, so I'm gonna go ahead and do some new fluid as well. But yeah, so we're about to press in the new BMR poly and Delrin bushing combo.
Alright guys, so Austin is currently cleaning up the diff right now. We got the poly bushings and the Delrin bushing installed. Had a little issue getting them pressed in, but it finally went in. So yesterday, Austin went ahead and put the new BMR lower control arms and trailing arms onto the knuckle assembly with the axles. Got the subframe all pressure washed and cleaned up, as you guys saw. And then he's got the new struts and coils on them. So these are all, it's a, what is it? It's a 1-inch drop, right? All around?
Yeah, it's a 1-inch even, so it keeps the same rate that it has.
So the rear bushing has the Delrin and the front two are the poly. So should stiffen things up quite a bit. So not too bad to have an install, but like I said, kind of a pain, but we got it. So once we get the knuckles back installed, we'll get the diff installed. We'll do the upper control arms, put the shocks onto the subframe. That way the subframe is good to go, and all we're waiting on is the bushings. All right, so here she is, all buttoned up, all dressed up. Diff is in, new sway bar, new whatever the hell those things are called. Oh,
Upper control arm bushing.
Upper control arm bushing. Very odd design from Pontiac, not gonna lie. So everything is nice and loose, so everything will get tightened when it's in the car. We'll torque it all to spec and whatnot. So it's looking pretty good. Took us a little while to get it together, but right now it's looking good, and it's almost ready to go back in the car once we get these new subframe bushings. All right, guys, so that's as far as we got today. It's as far as we're gonna get. We're waiting on the subframe bushings. So stay tuned for next week's video, and we'll go ahead and install everything and go ahead and go test out the car. So thanks again for watching. Hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next episode.